Why do smart people believe in conspiracy theories? Is Hillary Clinton a child eater? Obviously, we aren't here to answer such a ridiculous question. The real question is, why were millions of people around the world willing to believe something like this? Were these people all completely unintelligent, or is the story actually much more complicated than we think? Today, we are going to dive into one of the strangest mysteries of the human brain. A mystery that, after watching this video, might make you question your very own way of thinking. Because neuroscience research shows that none of us are immune to conspiracy theories. The human brain didn't evolve to find the truth, our brain evolved to survive. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, if our ancestors heard a rustling sound in the grass, they had two choices. They could either think it was just the wind, or imagine a predator lurking behind the bushes. If they were wrong and ran away, they only wasted a bit of energy. But if they were wrong and ignored the danger, they could be killed instantly. Because of this, the human brain learned to connect the dots and create links between events, even when there wasn't enough evidence. The very same trait that once ensured our survival can now lead to the birth of conspiracy theories. Psychological research has shown that people who believe more strongly in conspiracy theories have a higher tendency to see patterns and connections in completely random events, even when no such connection exists. For the brain, finding a false pattern is sometimes easier than accepting that some things are just random. But that's not all. In 2025, researchers used fMRI imaging to examine the brains of individuals who lean toward conspiracy beliefs. They discovered that these individuals process information differently when faced with conspiracy narratives. In fact, instead of trying to debunk the claim, their brains work harder to find meaning within it. This means the problem isn't a lack of intelligence. The problem is the way information is processed. On the other hand, studies show that when humans feel insecure, anxious, or distrustful, they are more likely to be drawn to conspiracy narratives, because the brain absolutely hates chaos. For the brain, a wrong explanation is sometimes more comforting than having no explanation at all. Now, add social media to the mix. Algorithms specifically boost content that triggers intense emotions. Fear, anger, shock, and that feeling of, I discovered a truth that nobody else knows. This is why a bizarre rumor usually spreads faster than a scientific article. But here is the most dangerous part of the story. Once someone falls deep into a conspiracy theory, any evidence against it becomes proof in favor of the conspiracy. If a scientist disagrees, they say they're part of the system. If the media denies it, they say the media is part of the plot. If no evidence is found, they say it's because they're so professional that they left no trace. At this stage, it's no longer about the evidence. The belief has become part of the person's identity. Perhaps the most important takeaway from all this research is that no one should arrogantly say, I would never be fooled. The reality is that all of our brains take shortcuts. We all fall victim to cognitive biases. Given the right circumstances, any of us could one day believe something that isn't true. Maybe the only difference between people is just one thing, whether they pause for a few seconds before believing a strange claim and ask themselves, if this claim were wrong, what evidence could disprove it? Perhaps those few seconds are the most critical difference between a critical mind and a mind trapped in conspiracy theories. And maybe that is the most important lesson modern science has taught us about the human brain. Our brain's greatest weakness isn't that it sometimes makes mistakes. Its greatest weakness is that it falls in love with stories that feel true, even when there isn't a single shred of evidence to support them. Stay curious.